Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome back to the Thai Expat Daily Show. I'm your host, Kira Mack, as always, and delighted you've been able to tune in with us yet again for another show. Now, before we do get started, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you already haven't, and hit that notification bell so that YouTube will let you know when the next show is uploaded on the platform. And finally, if you want to support the show, the easiest and the best way is just become a channel member. Details down below in the description, and it's as simple as clicking join. So that's all done and dusted. Let's jump into the top stories trending here in Thailand today. Churntalay police in Phuket have arrested two taxi drivers following a brutal assault on an app-based taxi driver in Layan, resulting in a fractured skull for the victim earlier yesterday morning. Churntalay police Colonel Lieutenant Wirapong, upon learning of the assault, immediately tasked a deputy superintendent to investigate the scene of the crime. Now, the victim, Wirat Mleng, 39, from Trang, was attacked on Soi Layan in Churntalay at around 10:30 a.m. The incident was captured on the dash cam of his vehicle. The footage shows the two assailants repeatedly punching Mr. Wirat in the face, with one holding him while the other kicked him in the head. The attackers continued to kick Mr. Wirat as he lay on the ground before eventually walking away. Mr. Wirat was rushed to Talang Hospital, where an x-ray revealed a skull fracture near his right eye. He was subsequently transferred to Mission Hospital, Phuket, for further treatment. Now, this afternoon, Churntalay police confirmed the arrest of two attackers, identified as Pishet Tip Bamrung, 34, and Sutan Kepkiao, 38. Mr. Wirat was able to positively identify both men as his attackers. Churntalay police also verified that the two suspects were drivers of green license plate taxis here in Phuket. Legal proceedings have been completed, reported Churntalay police, though they did not specify the exact charges brought against the two men. Now, police have arrested the boyfriend of a Hong Kong fashion model on suspicion of her murder. Gwendolyn Cretin, 24-year-old Swiss passport holder with a Hong Kong ID card, was found dead at her residence in Bangkok's Prawet district last Thursday night, according to Thai media reports. Now, Cretin was reportedly stabbed 9 times. 3 men, including the suspect and 2 neighbours, allegedly transported her body to a car. Local media reported that the boyfriend, whose name has been withheld, took her to the hospital. He later told police that she had attempted to take her own life. However, police suspected foul play and believed the boyfriend had murdered her. Local media has reached out to Swiss Embassy in Bangkok and the Consulate in Hong Kong for comment. Hong Kong's immigration department stated that they had not received any requests for assistance related to this case. A team of Pattaya police conducted an inspection on Soi Yen Sabai in South Pattaya on Wednesday night, aiming to prevent and address issues caused by tourists, primarily from Kuwait, who were allegedly riding motorcycles recklessly, honking loudly, and causing disturbances to local residents. The inspection, initiated at 11 p.m, was ordered by the Chief of Pattaya Police, Police Colonel Navin Tirawit. He deployed several patrol officers to set up checkpoints at both ends of Soi Yen Sabai, a common gathering spot for foreign bikers, particularly those from Arabian countries. Now, this operation followed a surge of complaints from local residents shortly after a previous crackdown. Reports of fights and conflicts between Middle Eastern tourists in South Pattaya also prompted the increased police presence. The primary goal of the inspection was to raise public awareness and caution tourists against reckless driving, loud revving, and causing noise disturbances. Additionally, police focused on enforcing Thai road rules, such as wearing helmets, having proper licenses, and possessing necessary documentation like insurance and registration. Now, during the operation, police confiscated several motorcycles that lacked proper documentation for further inspection. They also conducted searches for illegal items, including drugs and firearms, but did not find any prohibited substances or weapons. Now, moving along to a story coming from Japan today. It's very pertinent to here in Thailand, and we'll be discussing it as the topic of the day after the article has been read. So, amid a surge in foreign tourists, Japanese businesses are considering a dual price system, charging tourists more than locals. Japan welcomed a record 17.78 million foreign tourists in the first half of this year, with the highest arrivals from South Korea, China, Taiwan, and the US. The Hokkaido Tourism Organization has proposed lower prices for locals in Japan's northernmost prefecture, known for its winter resorts. A trial run for the two-tier pricing is planned for this autumn. Similarly, the mayor of Himje is attempting increasing entrance fees for foreign tourists to the local castle from 1,000 yen, which is about $6.44, to about $30, while keeping it at $5 for residents, citing concerns about potential damage from excessive visitors. Now, spending by foreign visitors has quintupled over the past decade, now Japan's second largest export category after cars. However, the influx has raised concerns about over-tourism. Osaka Prefecture suggested fees on foreign visitors, facing opposition ahead of the 2025 Osaka World Exposition. While local discounts have long existed, extending this to foreign tourists is controversial. A survey by Loyalty Marketing found over 60% support for separate pricing for foreign tourists. A Tokyo seafood restaurant charging foreign tourists $49.30 for a buffet charges locals $42, reflecting the extra cost of providing assistance in English, and that's according to the restaurant. Japan is struggling with the tourist surge post-pandemic. In April, officials announced a barrier at a popular photo spot to block Mount Fuji views due to misbehavior by foreign tourists, and one area introduced a modest hiking fee to address safety concerns. So the topic of today, dual pricing here in Thailand, and whether or not you agree or disagree with it. Now, for people who live here, expats such as myself and yourself, I think we all know that dual pricing definitely exists. You can find dual pricing in national parks, aquariums, zoos, water parks, pretty much everywhere. In fact, you can even find dual pricing in public and private hospitals here in Thailand, and it's all endorsed by the Thai government. At public hospitals, you will find a price for a local citizen. You will find a price for an expat, and then you will find a price for a tourist. And that is actually a real thing, and the prices are significantly different. But it brings us about to the story we discussed and what Japan are thinking about implementing at the moment. And I'm wondering what you think about this. Do you agree with dual pricing or do you disagree with it? Now, normally dual pricing stirs up a lot of emotion between people, and you get a lot of people who might say, well, it's discriminatory. It shouldn't be happening. It's wrong. And then you get other people say, well, tourists can afford to pay a higher price than, let's say, a Thai citizen here in the country, so why not? And that brings me to the question of today and to you folks out there. Do you agree or disagree with dual pricing? Do you believe it's fair or discriminatory? I'd love to know your comments, your opinions, what you think down below in the comment section. And finally, Thailand has improved its ranking on the Henley Passport Index, moving from 63rd to 60th place, reflecting stronger international relations and diplomatic efforts. The annual index by Henley and Partners ranks 199 passports based on visa-free access to 227 destinations. Now, Singapore has claimed the top spot as the world's most powerful passport, granting citizens visa-free access to 195 countries. Austria, Finland, Ireland, Luxembourg, the Netherlands, Sweden, and South Korea follow, offering access to 191 destinations. Now, Christian Hates Kalen, chairman of Henley and Partners, noted a widening gap between the top and bottom of the index. Despite increased global travel freedom, disparities remain significant, with Singapore accessing 169 more destinations than Afghanistan. The aviation industry, crucial for global mobility, faces challenges despite its substantial economic contribution. IATA Director General Willie Walsh highlighted that airlines are operating on thin profit margins with record revenues but high expenses. The index also highlights the UAE's rise into the top 10, driven by strategic investment, while Venezuela, Yemen, Nigeria, and Syria have seen declines in passport power. The Henley Openness Index shows similar disparities. While Singapore leads in both passport power and openness, many European nations with powerful passports have restrictive visa policies, highlighting the complex relationship between global standing and immigration policies.